Welcome back. Today is September 23rd. We have seeded exactly 10 days ago. We seeded on the 13th. We core plugged it, and I'll show y'all real quick here in the garage. Here in my garage, the pull behind aerator, that's what we ended up using. And since we decided not to go with a rental, we weren't confined or restricted by the time. Didn't have to worry about returning nothing. So I plugged the snot out of both of the yards that I worked on. If I had to guess how many times we went over it, I don't know, probably 20 times. Not even gonna lie. It has taken those 10 days for the existing grass to recover the way you see it now. There are some yucky spots, some disease. I'm not really worried about that. That'll go away as the humidity drops, but we're in a really humid situation right now with the forecast. We're up here on the mountain. You can see how foggy it is right now, and it's 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and it's still this foggy up here on the mountain. So humidity issues. We have the irrigation shut off. I shut it off yesterday around noon because it started raining around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and it didn't stop until around noon today. And we got pretty good germination. All the light color stuff, that's all new babies. I'll get a close-up down here. You can see all the little babies coming in, and they'll thicken up as I mow it. I'm definitely glad I saved some seed. Trying to walk around the seeded area so I don't step all in it. This is a little bit of a thinner spot. Probably gonna have to hand seed some of that. Let's go around the other side of the deck. There's another spot that's not really coming in super thick, as well as like along this edge here. This old nasty shed is going to be torn down, and we're going to do a row of cryptomeria going down both sides of the property for privacy. But so that'll all be like a bed, natural bed going all the way up the side of the property there. But I just want the grass thick on the edge. And so we got to reseed that. Here's some more irrigation lines set up, how I'm watering. And these couple heads, they cover this whole side yard. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. We got a lot of germination on the side of the yard, or the side of the house rather. But lots of weeds coming up. Lots of it's chickweed and just things I know I'm gonna have to deal with a post-emergent. So still coming up the side. Now, I wanted to show how many leaves are on the lawn. This is after I blew. It was probably twice this bad, the leaf coverage, and I blew 2 or 3 days ago. And this is how many leaves have fallen since, and that's why we're gonna be doing a massive tree removal over the winter. And it's probably going to damage some of the grass I planted, but it's got to get done. These wild cherries here, lots of wild cherries. That's what the majority of these leaves you see are, the wild cherries. They're just really bad trees, and I'm going to do a separate video on those entirely. Some of these big oaks, they just drop tons and tons of debris. Can't tell you how many acorns I blew out of here. And that's why blowing this takes so damn long, is because those acorns, they once you get a pile of them blown together, they're heavy, and my blower it's a handheld blower. But anyway, so here, back to the seeding. We got some irrigation lines set up around the edge. The hose that you see on the side of my car over there, I stretched that out throughout the center, and we've been moving them as best we could. But as you can see, we still have like big bare areas like this. Haven't really inspected these super close up. You can see there is definitely some grass coming up, and thankfully we've had some decent rainfall. But I have a little bit. I have like a quarter bag of seed, a quarter bag of a 50-pound bag left. So I'm not going to have enough to go over the whole thing again. So we're going to have to be really strategic with our spot seeding. Yeah. We got a whole week and a half damn near of rain coming. And so unless I see the leaves get really, really bad, you know, I'll come out here and blow those off as I need. They're almost to that point now, suffocating the new grass. There's another big bare spot that sprinkler just ain't throwing far enough, so I'm gonna have to. That's all things are looking like right now. All right, this is what it looks like after the first mow, and I was not trying to put fancy stripes on it or anything. I was just trying to knock the top off and get off of it. But I'm gonna walk through it so y'all can see. Now, this whole area over here, like I said, I didn't seed. It looks all right. But now that everything's kind of even up, I think we're doing all right. Lots of weeds already creeping in. Chickweed, just your common fall broadleaf weeds. I'm not gonna list them all, there's a lot. I can already tell you right now, I ain't spraying this thing till probably November, just because there's so much spot seeding I gotta do. This is one of the spots, obviously. Definitely gotta spot seed some areas. I gotta be strategic with it because I ain't got a lot of seed left. That's what I'm gonna do the first fertilizer, not just, you know, starter fertilizer. I'm talking about a ½ pound of nitrogen on this whole thing. That'll be the first ½ pound. I'll do a second ½ pound probably second week in November, because next week is the first week of October. So I just want to get a pound down before we go completely dormant for the winter. Before we check out for the winter, we'll spray the weeds out and call it done. Hopefully have a pretty jamming lawn next year. That's the goal. This is all set up for next year. All right, now it's Saturday and it is officially 3 weeks since seeding. I went through and blew this whole thing earlier today. It was just covered in leaves, and I'm really going through some mixed gas keeping this thing blown clean. I'm blowing twice a week because of just, I mean, you guys see how many trees we got all around us. So just so it ain't choking out the grass. Some leaves is okay. It kind of helps trap the moisture in underneath the leaves. This was a big area. I used the garden weasel on and put a bunch more seed in there. This front is just looking awesome. It's really coming back. Obviously you can see that there are still some thinner areas. You just kind of see it's a little patchy, but even in those spots, there are little babies. So when you see little thin voids like that, as long as you see little babies in there, it's fine. It'll fill in, hopefully this fall, just with throwing as much nitrogen to it as possible and mowing every 4 to 5 days. You should have a well-tillered plant before winter. So as y'all can see, the edge, I've always struggled with. I've got a lot of it to come back in. Now I had to weasel this whole area right here, all the way down the edge. I did add quite a bit more seed in. So hopefully that'll continue to fill in. But I mean, you can see the babies coming up in this spot here on the camera. At least I hope you can. That little line, the ground was just a little too soft when I mowed the first time. And yeah, I think that definitely hurt more than it helped. But anyway, this is another update. I also wanted to film today because this is the first time we have actually had actual sunlight penetration on the lawn in about 10 to 12 days, honestly. 10 to 12 solid days. And we're going to get 3 more days of rain starting tomorrow. So I also fertilized the whole thing today. We got our first pound of nitrogen. I'm sorry, first 3/4 of a pound. It was 0.75 when I did the math. And we fertilized the front, the sides, and the back. And I just don't feel like walking to the back, honestly. I'll show you all that in the next update. But 3 more days of rain. That'll water in that fertilizer just put down. And then I'm gonna mow it again. Oh man, you see that? Look at all them leaves falling. I can't stay on top of them, guys. I really can't. And yeah, I still got the damn stumps, guys. I didn't have time to rip them out before seeding. Just did not have enough time. So that's it. Here we are, 3 weeks after seeding, and it is coming in thick. I'm gonna try and speak up because everybody's mowing today. It's the first sunshine we've got in 10, 12, 14 days, something like that. And yeah, everything has just needed some sunshine. Here's the side. I got that mowed up. It's a little shady over there. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, I got a lot of it filling in. The bugs are really bad out here from all this hurricane rain. This area that y'all saw in the last video, I got that seeded and it's coming in. And this spot up here I showed y'all last time, it's coming in. And this is the end of the video. We finally got the entire back mowed. Looking really nice and thick and full. Nice and even. Still got to keep an eye on these disease spots. That's it for the day, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed this update on what's going on out here in the lawn.